You know, guys, Trump's right. You can't get tired of winning. And I've just been winning so much lately in terms of my YouTube channel, my real life, destroying my enemies. It just gets tiring sometimes. And sometimes I feel like I need to take a loss just because it just wouldn't be fair otherwise. But this isn't a story about a loss. This is a story about a win. This is a story about how I blew out Serp Kerp and completely and totally humiliated him. So as you guys know, Serp Kerp is was a very good friend of mine, and we were doing a stream together, and we were playing Twilight Struggle, and he won, and he just had to rub it in. He said, "Look, I won the game. You played a good game. We'll play again sometime." And that was condescending. That was him rubbing it in that he won the game, and he was on thin ice after that because he had crossed me, and then he streamed and he said, "Argent has a cat named Rain." And he had to bring my family into this. He had to bring my kitty into this. He had to bring my girl into this. And it was odd. He not only like made fun of me, but he brought in my family. And so I decided I'm going to go to Idaho to blow Serp out. Going to the state next to the state where he lives is a way to just completely and totally humiliate him. I was going to go there. I was going to film myself drinking, and it was going to be a win. Now, guys, I'm going to be honest with you because I'm an honest guy. If you remember in January, I said that I had a appendicitis and I had to get that operated. That didn't actually happen. That was just a fundraiser to raise money to go to Idaho to blow out Serp. And some people might say that that was dishonest to pretend that I needed the money for a legitimate purpose and then spent it on petty revenge. But those are just the A-logs. So I got that money, I went to Idaho, and the people there they worshiped me because I was Canadian. I just threw like my Canadian dollars out. They'd never seen dollared coins before. They thought that my loonies were made out of solid gold. They thought my toonies was like bimetal because the legacy of the Populist Party lives on in Idaho, and the people there still support bimetallism. And they saw the toonie as being the apotheosis of the bimetalist dream. So women were throwing themselves at me. There was one thing that didn't go great. There's a bar I tried to go to, and the person said, "You can't come into this bar." And I said, "I'm Argent." And it's like, "Oh, you're Argent. You're big on YouTube. You got like 9,000 subs. You get a couple hundred views a video." I'm like, "Yeah, you know who I am. I'm a big deal on YouTube. I'm fucking famous." So he let me in. He gave me drinks. He let me have my way with his daughter, and it was fun. And I was sending Serp pics of me drinking this low quality moonshine from the backwoods or whatever. So I decided while I was there, I was in the heart of the methno state. So if I was in the methno state, I figured I might as well do meth because meth is legal in Idaho, and it's legal. It's not legal to go there to do meth, but if you go there for some other reason and then you do meth, somehow that's legal. So I went to an Indian reservation, and I went to a bar, and I just was like, "Chief drinks mouthwash. Give me some meth." And they're like, "What?" I'm just like, "Give me meth. Here's a Canadian dollar. I know you people use pesos and pestas and yen and what other degenerate non-Canadian currency. Just give me the fucking meth." And they're like, "No, we're not going to give you the meth." And they tried to tell me that they they weren't going to sell it to me. And I said, "Look, I have a YouTube channel." And they didn't know about my YouTube channel because they're losers and they don't spend all their time looking for niche micro e-celebs. So I just said to them, "Look, you're going to give me the meth, or I'm going to kidnap your children and put them in a residential school." And they didn't really take that very well. So they like took me out into the woods, and I'm just like, "Look, you're going to let me go, or I'm going to put you into one of those unmarked graves, and no one's going to be able to find you. And you should be worshiping me, that I would even come to this shithole. You're going to give me the meth and you're going to like it. So these ungrateful savages beat the crap out of me. Now, it was bad enough that they beat the crap out of me. Fortunately, they didn't get my passport or my phone. But see, back during the 90s, I was a big Nintendo fan. I'm still a big Nintendo fan, but that was back when Nintendo Power was still around. And they had this contest where you sent in postcards for a chance to win the patented Nintendo Power backpack. This was made out of real Tanuki leather. It had metal clips made from melted down katanas from the Warring States era. This thing was fancy. And I sent in like 200 postcards and I won it. And last look on eBay, because this got put up on eBay after I lost it, it was worth probably about $10,000. So they beat me up. They took my $10,000 Nintendo Power backpack. And I was lying there almost dying. And then all at once, on the verge of defeat, Wotan came to me in a dream and he said, Argent, destroy the enemies of the people of the sun. And then a lightning bolt hit the oak next to me. And the electricity restarted my heart. And I chased these guys down and I beat them up, but I wasn't able to get any of my stuff back. So then I left it and I went to a hospital. And I didn't get travel insurance because I didn't think I needed it because I figured the people there would worship me. So I ran up a $20,000 hospital bill. And then I left Idaho and went back to Canada. And like I said, I blew Serp out. I utterly humiliated him. He was doing streams where he was crying. He was like, Argent, I'm sorry that I even mentioned your cat. He sent me a big thing of cat food. Rain's currently chomping down on it. She seems to like it. And that's the story of how I blew out Serp. That's the story of how I owned the A-logs and how I became the king of Idaho, the colonizer of Idaho.